Brian Jacobs, the founder and CEO of PanOpen. Thank you for joining. So open educational resources, free content that's part of the public domain, is growing in an unprecedented rate. It's part of the institutional discussion like never before. At the same time, however, for all that recent growth, it still represents only about 5% of the market. Now, consider its open source cousin, open source software, which started at roughly the same time and on which OER was actually modeled. Well, that shows a very different trajectory. And more than 80% of enterprises today use open source software in some sort of critical function. So why is that? Why did one open source project languish for so long and another has thrived? Well, PanOpen was born to challenge precisely that outcome and to help OER become as impactful for education as open source has been for software. So I've considered this for several years now, first as the founder and CEO of Academos, a leading online provider of bookstores and marketplaces to colleges around the country, and now with PanOpen. And what I realize is that shifts of this scale require really three central conditions. The first is that the old way is no longer tenable. And I think few today would doubt that the model for commercial textbooks is permanently broken. They're too expensive, inflexible, and they're dated, frankly. Second, the enterprises, or in this case, the institutions, need to rally around the alternative. And that is happening now in a big way. So states from New York to California are investing, funding millions of dollars for open source projects to develop and distribute open content. So these are necessary conditions for massive adoption of open, but they're still not sufficient. What's needed as well are the tools and business models associated with it. And that's where PanOpen comes in. PanOpen is a company that is focused on satisfying that third condition. And so how do we do that? Well, it starts with turnkey material. And so here, in the past, faculty would give up looking for open content because it was too hard to find high quality materials that met their learning objectives. With PanOpen, they have access to turnkey materials that are peer-reviewed, vetted, enhanced, and as easy to find, frankly, as a commercial textbook. Second are the content tools. In the past, faculty grew frustrated when they realized that the ability to modify and share content was, in fact, a broken promise or an empty promise without the right technologies to support it. With PanOpen, content now becomes an expression of the teaching itself. And faculty can iterate using our tools so that they are essentially responding to their students' engagement with the materials. Not possible, really, in a commercial model. So finally, it's a business model that offers sustainability. In the past, faculty and institutions had to forego that recognition and compensation when they contributed to OER. Now there's a means for them to both be recognized professionally and financially. So we're working with colleges, faculty across the country. A couple examples, at Rockland Community College, we found faculty who were struggling to adopt Open for an innovative course in introductory English. And with PanOpen, they were able to source and synthesize that content, turning them into modules, or what they call constellation, and thereby realize the vision that they had set for their course. At Penn State, we found a faculty member who for 30 years had never used technology in the classroom. With PanOpen, he was able to integrate Open and lower the costs significantly, but just as importantly, he was able to flip the classroom and then teach that same course at a far higher level. And so we're growing quickly. We sold thousands of seat licenses last year, and we're growing fivefold this year. Expect to see even higher growth next year based on the current pipeline, significantly higher growth. We have a great team of experienced entrepreneurs, educators, and technologists who know well how to work with institutions and understand the nuances and their needs. So we're looking for partners. We're raising money and looking for equity partners, but also partners in areas of distribution and in applications, which we can then bring to our growing user base, such as the partnership we just had announced with Learnosity. So, yeah, I'm Brian Jacobs, founder and CEO of PanOpen. Happy to chat with you after. Thank you.